Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm doing finally my affordable eyeshadow brushes under $10. My chair is moving, excuse me, I don't know why I'm twisting and turning. I have finally had the chance to sit down and film this video. I know I've been saying I'm gonna do it, so I am finally doing it. And I'm excited because I love these brushes. So let's go ahead and jump in. But first things first, I just wanna say that please bear with me if this video is not the best. I use my laptop as a monitor so I can see myself, make sure I'm in focus and everything looks good in the back. My laptop charger just died on me, so my laptop is currently out of commission for the moment. I'm waiting for a new laptop charger to come in the mail, so as soon as that comes in, we'll be back to normal. It honestly could not have died at the worst possible time because I'm going on vacation this weekend. I wanted to film a video every single day until I left, so I'm leaving on Sunday very early in the morning. I wanted to film today, tomorrow, and Saturday and have all 3 videos, like everything ready and uploaded so I can just make them live while I'm on vacation. And let's just say the Lord is testing me. It has been quite a week. It's been a week. It's been a very stressful week. I'm kicking it old school today. I'm just using my camera viewfinder. It's very small, so I'm so sorry if I go in and out of focus, but I'm going to try my best to make this video as good quality as possible because I really want to get this up for you guys so I can share my secrets with you. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. I have all my notes right here. I've got prices. I was like so organized for this video. It's unbelievable. I even surprised myself. So I have some brushes that come in sets. I have bits and pieces of sets, and then I have single brushes. So let's go ahead and start off with these sets because I kind of want to get those out of the way. The first one I want to mention to you guys is from BH Cosmetics. This is the Essential Eye Set from their vegan collection. I did a whole entire video on BH Cosmetics a couple of months ago. It's still up on my channel if you guys want to search. I'll link it below if I remember. I'll try to remember. My memory has not been great this week, but I'll try to remember and link it below so you guys can see it because I go more into depth about the brushes. But I want to very quickly mention this because I really am so in love with this brush set. It's really good. So the first one it comes with is this one right here. This is the V19. This one is very similar to the Sigma E40 blending brush. It does a really good job at blending. It's real nice at getting that transition shade on there. It's good at buffing everything together. So like Sigma brushes are kind of like middle range. I think the E40, which is my favorite blending brush ever, I believe that retails for like maybe 18 to 20. As much as I love those brushes, that is by no means cheap. You know what I mean? So if you can't afford that, I would say definitely pick up this set because this is by far the best set that I've ever seen that I actually like the blending brushes. And let me tell you, a bitch is picky when it comes to her blending brushes, and the fact that I like this one is amazing because I've been using the E40 for like the last 5 years or so now, and it's been the only blending brush that I use. I don't think you can buy them individually. I did look on the website and I don't remember seeing them being sold individually, but this whole entire set is only $10. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brushes for 10 bucks, and the best part is BH Cosmetics always has sales, so more than likely you can get it for even under $10 when they are having a sale. The next one is this flat brush right here, really nice for packing color onto the lid. Maybe if you want to pack some color on the outer V, you can use this to carve the brows, you can use this for concealer, you can really use this for whatever you want. This one is the V18. The next one that it comes with is this little one right here. This is kind of like a flat definer brush. You can use this to pack color on the outer V. You can use it to smoke out your lower lash line or define the lower lashes. I've even used this to press shadow on the top lash line before, so this is really great for that. Really great quality brush. This is the V16. And then the next one is this little detail brush. I think this one is actually my favorite in the collection because it's just so perfect for getting up there if you want to do more detailed blending and get real up in that crease. You have this one for that. This is actually one of my favorite detail crease brushes that I have. I have a couple and this one is by far my favorite because it just gets up there. It's so nice and tiny. This is the V20, and then the last one is the V15, and this is just like your typical pencil brush, but I feel like pencil brushes are essential. Everybody needs them in their collection. They serve so much purpose. You can run it on the lower lash line, you can run it on the top lash line, you can smoke out your outer V if you want. You can even use this for the inner corner, sometimes if you want to do like precise complexion work. So, you know, just a good pencil pencil brush. So that is the first set I wanted to mention to you guys. So the next brush I want to mention is also from BH Cosmetics, and it's also one of their vegan brush sets. If you guys watched my BH Cosmetics video, you know that I got this brush by mistake. I don't know what happened. Another set I'm going to actually mention next, they sent me two of the same brushes, and then they sent me this brush by mistake. Not complaining because I really like this brush, but I did get it by mistake. It is in the Vegan Brush Bold Brow set. Sorry, I'm looking down at my notes. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notebook that I have right here. So that is this brush right here. It's a double-ended brush. I love me a good double-ended brush. This is an angled brush to fill in your brows, and I mentioned in my BH Cosmetics video that I wasn't a fan of this brush because I thought it would be too thick to do brows. I'm used to the Anastasia brow brush where it's super tiny and super precise. So I mentioned that I didn't think I was gonna like this, and I actually ended up loving it. I use mainly my Anastasia one just because I'm so much more used to it, but sometimes I do find myself reaching for this to fill in my brows, which is so crazy because it's a little bit of a fatter angled brush. You can use this for the lower lash line, you can use it for the top lash line. It also has this blending brush on the side. It's like a smaller tapered blending brush. So on top of that, it has a blending brush, and then it does come with another brush. Like I said, they sent this to me on accident. I didn't order it. So I'll go ahead and insert a picture. Hopefully I can find one online, and if I even remember, because I'm a dumbass and I don't remember anything. And then that retails for $5. Now I can't speak on the other brush because I've never tried it, but I'm sure it'll be just as good because all the vegan brushes I've tried from BH Cosmetics I'm obsessed with and use on a regular basis. On top of that, they're so freaking inexpensive, like you legit can't go wrong. But I love this brush, the one that I have tried. Absolutely incredible. And then the next one I want to mention is also from BH Cosmetics. This is another set. This is the Studio Pro Blending Brush Set. This retails for $6.99. This is the set that I did order, but they sent me two of this one by mistake. I don't know who did their packaging that day because they messed up on my order, although I wasn't mad because it was whatever. Like, I was happy with their mistake, but they still like messed up. Whatever, it's not a big deal. But it comes with this one right here. This is the number 16 brush. It's just a big blending brush. I will say I don't like this for blending. It's a little too stiff for my liking, but you can use this for highlighting if you like to do something like that. To set your eye primer, this is a good brush for that. I found myself using this for that before. If you're okay with a more stiff blending brush, I think you'll like this. It's not a bad brush. It's just, I like something a little more soft when it comes to the transition and blending area. It does come with a tapered highlighting brush. It's one of those bigger highlighting brushes that looks similar to this, but it's more of a bigger brush though, so you can get in and highlight that face. That's the brush that they didn't send me, which I was fine with because I don't use those brushes to highlight anyways, but they sent me two of these by accident. This is the number 17. And this is kind of similar to the vegan one. It's just a little bit bigger. You can see it's pretty similar. This one's just a little bit smaller, whereas this is just a little bit bigger. I like to use this brush to get up in the crease if I really want to define the crease. I love these for that, and I love that they sent me two because I freelance, so I can never have too many blending brushes, you know what I mean? So I was totally okay that they made that mistake, but yeah. It's not supposed to come with two brushes, but my order did by accident, and I think I already mentioned that retails for $6.99. So the next two brushes I want to mention are from another brush set. They're from the EcoTools Daily Defined Eye Kit. You can get that for $8.99. I only have two of the brushes. I don't even remember how long I've had them for. I've just always had them. They've always been there. I'm pretty sure I've had this brush since I was like 18 or 19. Like, I'm pretty sure I've had it for that long. It's really beat up. It legit just looks like a paintbrush at this point, but this one is a little bit newer. Now, I cannot remember if I bought these in that set or if I bought them separately because I know EcoTools kind of revamped their line a little bit. So I've just had these two forever, but I know these two do come in that set. So I'll go ahead and insert a picture so you can see what else it comes with. I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll go ahead and make sure to put in a picture and list it below. But I love this one in particular right here for packing shadow on the outer V. This is one of my favorite ones to do that. I just feel like it packs product on so nicely. And then if you guys have been watching my videos, you know this is the only brush that I use to highlight my inner corner. It's just so tiny and it's so perfect. It just gets all up in there. I literally have not used any other brush to highlight my inner corner. And again, I don't know when I got this brush. I just know that I've had it forever and ever and ever because I've always used this to highlight my inner corner. Sometimes if I'm even kind of lazy and I'm in a rush, I'll use this to do my brow bone as well. So it's just the perfect little tiny detail brush. I love that. Those are the only sets I have. So let's go ahead and move on to the single. So let's start with blending brushes first. Keep in mind that I'm only mentioning brushes under $10. So like my Sigma brushes and some of my Luxie brushes that I use in videos, I'm not going to mention them because they're not under $10, but these brushes are all still very good quality. They're brushes that I use on a regular basis and they're still really good brushes. These are just all under $10. So the first blending brush that I have right here is from Morphe. This is the Morphe M441, and I'm gonna go ahead and mention this brush, but I will say I have a love-hate relationship with this. This is only $6, I believe. It's not quite as big as the E40. It's just a little bit smaller, so it gets the job done for me. I just like a little bit of a bigger brush like the E40, so it's a little smaller. It's a natural haired brush. It does a good job of blending. There's nothing wrong with this brush, but if you saw my last video that I did on my under $10 face brushes, I mentioned a Morphe fan brush in there that I said was good and it got the job done as well, and I love that brush, but it started to lose its shape and get frayed and get really weird, and I stopped using it, and I actually stuck it in my kit. What I use to hold my brushes in my kit is one of those ones that it has all the pockets and then you roll it up and it stays nice and flat, so it helps flatten that brush out. This brush does the same thing where it kind of frays and it loses its shape, but once I put it in my kit and now that I have a solution for it, it works just fine. Now I've definitely said what I've had to say about Morphe eyeshadow brushes. I've said so many times that I love their face brushes, but the eyeshadow brushes are just hit or miss. They're blending brushes. It's like 50-50. Some of them that I tried are really good. Some of them that I've tried just don't last and they lose their shape and they shed, and nothing irritates me more. This happened to be one of those brushes. I've seen in videos, I've heard from other people that they love this brush, and then I've heard from others that they hate this brush. So I'm gonna say kind of buy it at your own risk, even though it is only $6. But for me, it did lose its shape, but I do have a solution for it, which is kind of like a high maintenance solution, but I do want to mention it because I think when it does keep its shape and it doesn't fray, it's a really good brush. That's why I like to keep this one strictly in my kit, because that pouch that I use helps keep it nice and flat. Kind of annoying, you know, if I'm just being totally honest, but again, I am going to mention it because I do use it. I think it's a good brush. Just keep in mind to kind of buy at your own risk, if that makes sense. So this next one that I have from Morphe is the M433, and this is kind of very similar to the Sigma E25 brush, where it kind of has that same shape where if you want to go in and kind of define the crease a little bit more right under your transition, you can do that, but I don't like to use this brush for that. I like to use this brush if I want to go for a very smoky, like sultry, diffused smoky eye. I will use this to kind of smoke out the outer V. So I'll use this for the same purpose that I use for the Eco Tools brush, but the Eco Tools, if I want to go in and pack on color and I want it to be real dark and real defined and I want that outer V to have a lot of pigment, I'll go in and pack with this. When I'm going in and trying to do something where I want it to be very smoky, very sultry, I want it to be a little more diffused, I'll go in and kind of just lay the color down and blend it out. And because this is a blending brush, it helps keep it a little more on the soft side. So I like to use this brush for that type of situation. And then my next one from Morphe is the M514. This one is like a staple in my collection. I really love this brush a lot. This also retails for $6. You can see it's very used and abused. Let me go ahead and compare it to the BH Cosmetics one. So it's very similar in the sense that it has kind of the same shape. Hopefully it's focusing. I think my camera's focusing. Kind of has the same shape, but this brush has longer bristles. So I like to use these for kind of the same thing. This one for a little more detailed work, but I like to use this Morphe one if I want to go in, like say I lay down my transition, I lay down something under my transition and I want to bump it up just a notch with a deeper color, I go in and use this brush for that. So it does such a good job of just laying down color and blending at the same time that I love it. I use it almost every single day, and I remember when I bought this brush, I was like, this Morphe brush doesn't work out for me. I'm going to boycott their eyeshadow brushes. Luckily this one worked out and I'm glad I did because I really love this brush a lot. I like that I can go in and lay down the color with this brush and also blend that harsh line out at the same time. This is what it's like being a dog mom. And being a dog mom to a dog that is obsessed with you. I love you. He's just gonna sit right here in my lap because he needs to be the center of attention as usual. The next one that I have is this brush from Morphe as well. This is the E17, and it looks kind of like a pencil brush when you look at it. I believe this on their website, they describe it as a crease blending brush. I actually love this brush for the lower lash line. I've gone through so many lower lash line brushes, and although I've used them, they just weren't my favorite, you know? They would get the job done, but ever since I got this one, this has been my #1 favorite. It blends out that lower lash line like a boss. And I believe this one is from the Elite collection. I think that's what the E stands for, if I'm not mistaken. So this one is a little more. It's $7, only $1 more, not that much of a price difference, but I'm telling you, if you are on the struggle bus with the lower lash line, I know it can be a little difficult to get the hang of the lower lash line, especially for me when I first started to do makeup. I always did eyeshadow and stuff, but I could never do my lower lash line. Like, it just never looked blended. It always looked kind of muddy. Although I could always get the job done, like the end result was always done just fine. This brush, oh my god, I'm telling you, that lower lash line takes me 2 seconds now. So yes, definitely check out this brush. If you struggle with blending out your lower lash line, this does all the work for you. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to packing brushes. First one is the Morphe M167. I actually picked this up at Ulta. This retails for $6 as well. I like to use this for shimmers and mattes, but I feel like I like this just a little bit more for mattes because of the bristles. Like, I don't know what it is that they're just, the bristles are a little more soft than like your typical packing brush, so I feel like this just does such a nice job of applying mattes nice and seamlessly. I love the shape of it. It's like this nice bigger oval shape, so you can just kind of go in there and cover up that whole lid. This is nice if you just want to kind of run something across your eyelid very quickly, and it's affordable. You literally cannot beat the price. So yeah, I really like this brush, but I mainly find myself reaching for it when I want to pack on a matte shade onto my lid. This is the Morphe G20. I think this is from their Gunmetal collection. This brush is a little bit smaller. Actually, it's probably about half the size of that first one I just mentioned, but this one has more of like a synthetic feel to it. So this is what I like to use if I'm gonna go in and pack on shimmers. If I'm going in with like a real intense bright pigment or glitter or anything of that nature where I just need the color to be packed on with the most intensity possible, I like this because I feel like because the bristles are more synthetic, it just lays the color down so nicely. It is a little bit smaller. I wish it was a little bigger. I don't know if they make this brush in a bigger size, but I ordered this one from the Morphe website, so of course I could only go off of like the pictures that I saw on the website, but this does a good job if you want to kind of carve out the lid with some type of shimmer. If you're doing kind of like a cut crease, it has that really nice, smaller, precise point to it. It just really packs on the color so nicely and so intensely, and this brush is really affordable. I think it's $5. I don't remember if I said that, but if I didn't, it's only $5. This is the Morphe M421, and I think that this is a mini concealer brush. This brush is only $3.50. This is just my favorite for using concealer. If I want to go and clean up my brows, I like to use this brush. It's just so teeny tiny, and the bristles are so like thin and precise. It's just the perfect shape for if you need to go in and do like detail work, if you need to clean something up, but specifically I love to use this to carve out the lid, or if I'm applying glitter glue or anything like that to where I need to hold a loose pigment or a glitter, I like to use this for that as well. The last brush that I have in this department is this one right here, and this one is from IBY Beauty. This is their crease brush. However, I wouldn't use this for the crease. This looks a little more like a pencil brush. It's a little more similar to the E17, except the E17 has like a nice round shape. This one doesn't. The bristles are a little shorter on the edges and then get longer in the center. So what I like to use this brush for is to pack color on the outer V if I want to be a little more precise. So again, I usually use the Eco Tools brush if I kind of want to go in and pack on color and make it real smoky and real dramatic. If I want more precise color application, I'll go in with the IBY Beauty. Let me show you the difference in these two. So you can see this one is quite a bit bigger, so it's probably about half the size. This retails for $8. It does a really good job of packing on color. The bristles are a little more stiff, which is why I like to use this to pack instead of blend. I've tried this for the crease and I don't like it. I find that it doesn't blend that well, so that's why I like to use this to pack on color when I need to pack pigment onto the lid. And the last collection of brushes that I have are liner brushes. So I only have 4, so I'm going to just go through them very quickly because there's really only so much you can do with liner brushes. So the first one I have right here is the Morphe B45 brush. This is an angled liner brush. It's a teeny tiny angled liner brush. You can use this for your brows if you want. It's not quite as thin as I personally like for my brows. I like something more along the lines of the Anastasia angled brow brush, because I like to use dip brows. So this would probably work a little bit better for powder because it's just a little fatter. But what I like to use this is for the lower lash line. So I don't use this all the time for the lower lash line because it's a little too smaller than what I like. But if I'm in a pickle or I'm in a pinch and I need a brush real fast and this is the only clean one that I have, I will use this for that. So I like to use this to just pack color on the lower lash line or even on the top lash line. I use this more for my top lash line than I do for my lower lash line, but it's just this little teeny tiny angled brush. I feel like you always need these little detail brushes. Like if you really like to do makeup or if you're a freelance artist and you like to go in and do detailed work, then you always need little tiny brushes like this. You never know when you're gonna need a little tiny brush. Also, this brush retails for only $2. This is the Morphe M250-1. This is just a tiny little liner brush. There's really not much to say about it. You can use this for wing liner. You can use it if you want to take gel liner to the waterline, gel liner to the top lash line. It's just a real nice, fine little brush. I will say you have to be careful with this one because it can start to fray. This is another one that I just leave in my kit, so when it's rolled up, it stays nice and flat. But yeah, this one I did notice started to fray until I stuck it in my kit and then it stayed nice and flat. But yeah, just basically your typical gel liner brush. This is, I think, $2.50. I know it's definitely under $3, so I mean, you can't really beat the price when it comes to it being under $3 for a brush. The next one that I have is the Morphe M432, and this is a flat definer brush. This brush is not really new to me because I've probably been using it for about a year, but this type of brush is definitely newer to my collection. Like a lot of these brushes I've had for a long time, or I've had these types of brushes maybe in other brands for a long time, but I've never had a brush like this. And I think I saw somebody use it in a YouTube video. I can't remember who, but I saw that they would use it to just kind of define the lower lash line. And I do like to use this brush for that, but I find myself mainly using this to line my top lash line with gel liner. So I don't really go in with liquid liner so much anymore. I kind of don't really do a wing on the regular anymore, but I'm more into just like a very soft, smoky eye. I find that I really reach for this if I want to go in and just kind of put a line with gel liner on my top lash line, mainly to disguise my lash band. This brush I feel like is so perfect for that, and it kind of gives it like that smoky, sultry effect. So I use this for both the top and lower lash line. I kind of want to get two because I always have to clean it every time I do my gel liner. I keep forgetting to get another one. I need to get another one. This also retails for $4. And then the last brush I have, I'm going to go ahead and mention, even though this brush has been repackaged, this is a Sonia Kashuk brush, and this is the number 27 brush, so it looks just like this. It's a nice angled liner brush, and I love this brush for wing liner with gel. Now when I do gel liner, I don't typically do a wing. I mean, I can do a wing if I have to. Just for me, it's a little easier to use liquid liner, but with this brush, it makes it so easy. Like, it just makes it so easy. It's super, super thin. It is super precise, so you can really get in there and just do a nice, like, quick, seamless wing with this brush. The only thing that sucks is that they repackaged it, so I have not tried the repackaged version. I will go ahead and leave the replacement for this one. I looked it up online. That one retails for $11. This one used to retail for $10. If they still have this brush in Target, go ahead and pick it up. It's so good. Again, it's the number 27 brush. I know some Targets still have her old brushes, so if you can get your hands on this, go ahead and get it. If they have it on eBay or Amazon, I would say go ahead and pick it up. Don't spend like $20 or $30 on it. Like I know some people will be trying to play you with their Amazon listings. If you can find it for like $10 or less, then I would say go ahead and get it because it's such a good brush. I love this so much. I never thought that I would like to do gel liner with a wing until I got this brush. Okay, and that is actually it for this video. I feel like I mentioned so many Morphe brushes. I'm not like diehard Morphe. I know I've said that before, but you gotta admit, when it comes to Morphe, the price is just right. The price is there. I know I've said in past videos that I'm kind of like iffy with Morphe when it comes to their eyeshadow brushes. I've tried a lot more than this, and I've either thrown those brushes away or I've given them away. So please, as I'm mentioning these brushes, don't think that I'm just saying that just because they're cheap. It's not that they're cheap, they're also good too. The brushes that I've tried from them that have not worked out for me or have frayed or lost their shape or whatever happened to them are not even in my collection. I don't even own them anymore. So yeah, just keep that in mind because I know I've said so many times that I'm like, with Morphe, at least when it comes to their eyeshadow brushes. So yeah, I just want to go ahead and say that because I didn't realize how many Morphe brushes I actually had until I sat down and filmed this video right now. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what else you want to see. Of course, if you have any other affordable brushes that you would like to mention, go ahead and leave them below so I can check them out and hopefully try those as well. And make sure to subscribe before you go. Hit the notification button so you never miss any of my videos. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.